Hi, my name is Emily Medill, and I'm here with what I call my weekly happiness strategy video where I read aloud my weekly featured article. I've been writing about happiness and empowerment for a decade now, and these happiness strategy videos are a culmination of some of my favorite articles that I've written, and they're just basic, simple ideas around happiness. They're ideas that you already know about and strategies that you know about. And the reason why I share them is what I've learned in my life and what I've heard from my coaching clients and readers is that having a focus, a weekly regular focus where you can implement just simple ideas and strategies just one at a time into your life has been really helpful in creating an overall self-care practice that sticks and an empowered sort of mindset where you take your own happiness into your own hands and you feel really empowered and 100% accountable to create your own happiness in your life and to course correct yourself when you fall off the path and to just see yourself as really resourceful. So that's what these videos are all about. And every week I share a featured article on empowered living on my website, and I also share my writing out on thriveglobal.com. I share the article, a video, as well as some other happiness tips and strategies every week to my list called M's Weekly Inspiration. And if you'd like to sign up to receive those free notes, you can do so by following the link that I'll share below this video. And I'll also share the direct link to the article in case you want to have a read through later. So this week our article is called How to Stand in Your Power and Stop Giving It Away. And it's one that I wrote in 2016, and it was first shared on the Huffington Post on Oprah's Empower Yourself section of the Huffington Post. And it's later been shared out on Thrive Global as well as my website. So how to stand in your power and stop giving it away. What does it take to stand in your power, and why is it important to stop giving it away? Living your life from a place of personal power can come across as an overused statement to entice people to adopt a win at all costs kind of mentality. I believe it is really about standing in the truth of who we are as human beings. It is a way of life where you treat yourself and others with kindness, acceptance, and love. Standing in our power resembles a gentle strength that doesn't need to be seen and heard to thrive. When we are living life from an empowered place, we are fed from within. When we give ourselves the gift of living life in our truth, A, we stop looking to others to define who we are or who we are not. B, we stop wasting our waking moments worried about what others think of us. And C, we value ourselves from a genuine place, making it easier to see the goodness in others around us. Here are the 3 practices I turn to when I need a reminder of why it is important to stand in my power and how to step back in if I veer off the path. Practice number 1, acceptance. Deep acceptance comes from understanding how similar we are. We all hurt the same way, and we all have the capacity to love the same way. We are human. Problems arise when we begin to feel separate and believe we are better, less than, or different than each other. If someone treats you like you are less than or not worthy as you are, it is a trap they are stuck in. Give them some compassion for where they may be stuck, and quickly move on to remind yourself of your ability to experience the human qualities you most admire and enjoy. If the quality is love, how can you step into love right now? If it is joy, how might you add more joy in the moment? If it is kindness, how can you be kind to yourself and others around you? Acceptance is the golden pathway to empowerment. When you accept yourself, no matter what experience you are in, you receive the gift of strength. When you accept others, no matter what their opinions or differences may appear to be, you receive the gift of having a gentle, peaceful experience around others. And practice number 2, freedom. The landscape of life is always moving and changing. Some days are easier than others to stay standing in our power and accept what is before us. On those challenging days when your inner voice implores you to step away from your truth and instead be hard on yourself or others, see what happens when you literally free yourself from the story you are narrating. If that story is an elaborate tale of all the reasons why you or someone else should be seen in a negative light, Stop narrating at once. When we hold on to these kinds of harmful stories, it always feels like a departure from our gentle strength. The uneasiness that accompanies this departure is often felt on a physical level. This uncomfortable feeling is usually our first indicator we may be stuck in a story. Freedom happens when we get into the driver's seat of our life and take control of our stories from an empowered place. We can choose to see the good traits in ourselves and others. There are always good things we can focus on. We get to make the decision to shine the light on what those things are. We can also steer away from focusing on the things that don't feel good. We free ourselves from the stories we feel stuck in by creating new stories that feel right and lead us to empowered living. And practice number 3, self-care. It is up to each of us to take care of ourselves. We are the gatekeepers of our thoughts and feelings. We get to decide whether the steps we take help us stand in our power or prompt us to give it away. I have found that having a regular self-care practice has been fundamental in finding my inner truth and standing in my power. I believe in the importance of adopting a self-care practice that fits your individual needs and is easy to stick with through the highs and lows in life. Some of the key things in my self-care practice include self-reflection through writing and journaling, having a handful of trusted people I confide in, enjoying regular sleep, exercise and fun, spending time with my close people, limiting screen time, and saying no when I mean no. The trick I've learned about self-care is to add things that make sense to you and to add them one at a time. This isn't a boot camp or overhaul of your life. It is a practice of adopting joyful habits that will help you live your best life. The other important consideration is to choose things that you can commit to doing on a regular basis so it becomes habitual. My regular self-care practice is not just something I use to feel good in my life. It is a tool I draw in to help me through different obstacles. Self-care helps me support myself to stay on my path, stay in my truth, and stand in my power. What about you? What things are important to you in your self-care practice? How will you support yourself in standing in your power? Imagine what life would feel like if we all gave ourselves the gift of living from the truth of who we are. So that is this week's featured article, How to Stand in Your Power and Stop Giving It Away. And this week, I just invite you to draw on one of these tips that I've added here today and to make that be your focus for this week, to just grow your self-awareness around, acceptance, freedom, or on your own individual self-care practice. And implement some ideas that feel right for you in your self-care, and just give yourself that gift of setting that intention. I like to set my intention every Sunday for the feeling I want to create in my week, and then each day I check in with my intention, and I've found that doing this on a regular basis, taking these simple ideas and tools and strategies that we all know about. This isn't, new material. But what does create the change in our lives is when we do it with regularity and we grow our awareness of ourselves and we feed that relationship that we have with ourselves. I found that that's really helped me to grow happiness in my life. It's never about the external things in my life, because I've drawn in all sorts of abundance in my outer world and I've still felt really unhappy within myself. So, it is true that happiness is an inside job, and, that can feel overwhelming to know how to kind of make that transition and to grow that inner relationship that we have with ourselves. And so I found that just having this regular happiness practice and setting that intention, on a weekly and daily basis it helps us grow our self-awareness, and that is what leads to creating more regularity in our self-care practice, and just sort of going through those bumps that come up in life with a bit more resiliency. So again, I just invite you to try on some of these ideas this week if they resonate with you, and whatever you get up to, I hope that you have an amazing week, and as always, I look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you.